Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. Oh boy, it's a little late. Wanted to be here earlier, but it was kind of difficult to be here earlier, but I'm here now. Still trying to figure out how to make this screen a little lighter, even though it's at the brightness level. But I'll just keep playing around with it until I figure it out. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing well and that everything is going well and that these messages are really helping you guys. Let me see. This should make it a little better, hopefully. But you know, these messages I'm hoping are resonating with you guys. I have been receiving some comments from some of you guys about the messages, and I'm glad that it's resonating with you, and continue to show up here, invite others to do the same. Because every day, Monday through Friday, we're going to be talking about different ways to heal, different ways to make our life better instead of difficult. Because we know what all the other stuff is about. Now we're going to talk about ways to improve our life for the better so that we don't just exist in this life, but we can enjoy it. So, guys, it's been a crazy day today. A lot of craziness going on, but I am still showing up, and I hope all is well. And I'm not a therapist. Keep in mind, I'm not a therapist, social worker, or a counselor. Just somebody who's gone through a lot of trials and tribulations. And I talk about becoming an overcomer instead of succumbing to them. With that being said, let's get into this topic of discussion, guys. I have some tea here today. The power of healing. Yes, there is power in healing, guys. There is a lot of power behind healing because it takes a lot of strength, courage, diligence, and perseverance in order to heal, because it's not easy, especially when you got a ball of chaos, a ball of confusion, a ball of toxicity all around you. And when you grew up in this world, nothing came with a book of instructions. You just had all of this stuff around you that seemed normal. And as you grew older and started to see see things from a different perspective, you start to realize that you can heal all these pains and hurts, that you don't have to carry those tons of bricks, yours and everybody else's, that you can get through this by healing. When you heal, guys, from the inside out, that means that you are addressing the metaphor I always use, which is the elephant in the room. When I grew up, when I was a kid growing up and traumatic things happened in our house, I was always told what happens in this house stays in this house. And I'm going to reiterate, if what happens in this house stays in this house, then how do we heal from it? Do we continue to pretend that the elephant is not in the room? Do we continue to walk around it as it grows bigger and bigger? And do we continue to carry this tons of bricks of pain everywhere we go, wherever we go? Then we can't heal from it. And then we stay stuck in a chokehold of toxicity and pain that we can't get rid of. And yes, there's ways to get rid of it. One way that I did it is by addressing the elephant in the room, and not, instead of pretending it wasn't there. The pain I carried had me on my knees, guys, because this is how I thought life was supposed to be from the time that I can walk and talk. You know, Sometimes when we heal, we have to reprogram our way of thinking and what we've been taught. I've been taught a lot in my life to put my needs on a back burner while I be subservient to the needs of others. you know. And then people would use a biblical term to support that. And I would always think about, I never thought about until I got on a healing, process, as I got on a healing journey. What about my needs? What about what I need? Do I not get what I need? And so as I started to do therapy and a work to heal, I started to realize that that way of thinking was suppressing my own needs and wants. And when we do that continuously, we feel a void within. I know I did. And when I did therapy and did the pro and con list, and I started to really do the work, I had to look at the pain. I had to heal from the inside out, address the elephant in the room, acknowledge why I was feeling this pain, where it was coming from, because many of us have childhood wounds that are unhealed. But when we look at it, it's painful, and this is why some people don't want to do the work, because it's hard. You got to look at everything. And one of the ways that I was able to do this is asking God to help me and making vows and telling God that if I do the work, He helped me, that I'm going to continue to move forward and not only help myself, but pay it forward by helping other folks too. Because people need to know that they don't have to stay stuck in this pain. They don't have to deal with toxicity. They don't have to settle for abuse and negativity and let somebody dress it up and tell you it's normal. Because it's not, guys. And as I did the work to heal, I looked at the pain, I addressed it. It took me a long time to heal, but I healed it. Because when you heal the pain, these folks and things and situations from the past no longer has a chokehold on you. You take your power back when you heal. There is a lot of power in healing, guys, because as you heal, you're not stuck in the past. As you heal, the people who brought the pain to your front door and table can no longer touch you anymore as you heal that pain, because then you grow, heal, and evolve. You learn to self-love. You learn that you are worth it. Self-care. And then as you do the work, you heal your mental and physical health as well by setting those boundaries. You set boundaries so that you can stay focused on the healing process, and so you don't get distracted with the toxicity and the noise around you. And as you continue to do the work, persevere, be diligent, keep working on yourself. You start to feel better. You feel better, you do better, guys. And then it gets to the point where you just want to take care of yourself on a daily basis. Remember, without your mental health, you can't help yourself or anybody else around you. Healing will change your life for the better, and I'm living proof of it. I would never thought in 1,000 years that I would be on YouTube, that I would have healed all these things that I was going through, especially these toxic relationships and family members, who I was codependent on for far too long. But as I did the work, I started to learn my self-worth. I started to forgive myself for past mistakes. Because sometimes, guys, we can stay on the wheel of toxicity, riding that wheel. And then we get rid of one abusive situation just to open up a door to another one. And I had to learn that people, situations, circumstances come into our life for a reason, season, a lifetime, or a lesson. Unlearned lessons will repeat itself. But guys, it doesn't just repeat itself. When it comes back around, it's worse than ever. Different characters, same scenario, but worse than ever because we're not learning the lessons. And as we start to look and see things from a different perspective, we start to see that we can make our own decisions. That's how you take your power back as well. Well, I don't want to stay on this wheel of toxicity, so I'm getting off now. And one of the ways you do that is by setting strong boundaries. And let people know you're setting these boundaries because you need to self-care and you need to heal. And in my case, some people respected it. Many of them kept trying to cross the and step over those boundaries. And I had to cut off, block, and delete because I was determined that I was going to heal so I don't stay stuck in a past. And it took a lot of work, but I did it, guys. Making better decisions for my life instead of making reckless ones. You know, because many times I had to address the pain. It was so bad. The pain had me on my knees. I had to look at my life. I had to forgive myself for past hurts and pains and mistakes and then move forward. And as I did the work, I start to feel better. As I felt better, I do better. And as you speak out things that hurt you, that's an outlet for the pain as well. That's why I always talk about therapy, because therapy at some point will force you to talk about or get you to talk about circumstances in your life. It may not happen right away because me and my therapist just looked at each other for a very long time before I started to participate. But I realized I needed to do the work. And this is why some people want to just stay at the bottom of the barrel, because doing the work means that they have to reflect on the pain, they have to address it. And some people are not ready for that. And that's okay. And, you can bring people to the water, but you can't make them drink. They have to do it in their own time frame. But some folks, one of the things that I say, have no right to stop anybody else from healing because they don't like it. People have a right to make their own decisions, to set boundaries. And as you do this and you grow, heal, and evolve, you feel better. You feel better, you do better, and you make better decisions for your life. And you learn that you have a right to make decisions. You don't have to stay in toxic situations because you share DNA with someone. You don't have to tolerate those situations. You can set boundaries. You don't have to stay in toxic relationships just because you have children together or you've been together way back when. You have a right to make your own decisions and to set boundaries. We all have that right. And that's the power of healing, guys. One day at a time, one step at a time. Addressing situations, talking about it instead of pretending they're not there. That's how we get better. That's how we feel better. And as we do better, we can be an example to others. It's so important. One day at a time, one step at a time. Nothing ventured is nothing gained. Nothing will be perfect, but you will make better decisions as you look at the pain, and you will be glad that you did the work to heal. Because as you can heal, you can help other people. When I'm out and about, I meet so many people and they come up and talk to me and we have conversations. And I talked about it in one of my last videos. It's important, even if you give 5 or 10 minutes to somebody else, because you don't know what people are going through today, because not everybody talk about what they're going through. Some people don't communicate. They just, need to be listened to. And if you can take 5 minutes out of your day for that, you might be saving somebody from a space of despair, And that's one of the vows I made to God, that if he helped me and I get better and do better, that I'm going to help others in so many different ways. Let's keep this going, guys, because as people show up on this channel, even though they may not speak about what they might be personally going through, yet they get to hear a positive message, a personal one of things that I've gone through and how I continue to fight and overcome with the help of God, staying in prayer, being diligent, persevering, and never giving up, guys, because if we give up on ourselves, what do we have? So it's important to keep going and be around people who are going to motivate you, encourage you, and lift you up. People who want to see you win instead of those who want to see you down, stuck in the bottom of the barrel, in the past, in pain. Heal so that you can grow and evolve, so that you don't have to stay stuck in a past. It is always important to get to a place of inner peace. It is better to be at a place of peace than broken down into pieces. That's the message today, guys. I will be back tomorrow evening with a new message. I will be on a little bit longer than I am today. Please show up, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to find out what's going on with the live so that I can get on. I will let you know when I am back on live again. But continue to show up and invite others who you know who need to hear these messages so that they can be uplifted as well. Thank you all for being here. This is Lisa shedding love and light to you all. And do something on a daily basis for yourself so that you can, that's a way of healing as well. Because as you feel better, you do better, guys. This is Lisa again, shedding love and light. Have a good evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now. Oh, before I go, guys, please look at the links that I have at the end of the video, because these are essential oils that you can put into your humidifier. Things that I have lavender because it relaxes me and it helps me sleep. Since I've been using these essential oils, I have been sleeping better at night because I put the oil into the humidifier and have that on. It makes the room smell nice, and it just makes a calming effect. So take a look at it and see if it's something that might help you as well. Well, that's it, guys. I'm saying good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay tuned. Bye for now.